Good evening, Stuart, Florida. You are
Martin
listening.
County.
Yes. Go ahead, John.
No, hey, Frank, you're in the studio. This is John Campion, your co-host, along with Frank Downtown Mezapel.
I am downtown, as a matter of fact.
You are.
Yeah.
All the time. And we have a wonderful guest again tonight. He's an all-star. We've got our good friend Todd Harris from Crown Car Care with 2 locations to serve you in Stuart and Palm City. Mm-hmm. Hello, Todd.
Greetings. Hello, everybody. Boy, it is a treat to be back on this great radio show. And I can't believe how fast it's been. It's been 2 weeks since I was last on. And boy, the world has changed again more in 2 weeks. I can't believe it. All for the better.
Well,
right.
Yeah, it's amazing. Really, the other thing is tomorrow I'm going to say to my wife, can you believe it's already Thursday?
No, the weekend's almost here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Florida. Yeah, Florida time. And most of us, I think, are looking at an extended weekend. Are we, I hope?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah,
yes.
we are. That's
mm-hmm.
right.
Yes. Memorial Day weekend. Mm-hmm.
For us business owners. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we never get a day off, but that's okay.
This is true. And Frank, Frank's pressing all the buttons. He's got enough on his plate. So,
ooh, baby,
I'm
the guy on the Ed Sullivan stage, spinning those plates, keeping them from falling down. That's me.
Really big shoe. Really big shoe.
Yeah.
I've got a couple interesting things I'd like to just bring up real quickly,
Absolutely.
if I could. One is relating to Martin County. And I don't know if many people know this, but Martin County has several wonderful public parks that are open now and available for people to go to. Of course, you'd have to adhere to the social distancing guidelines and all the other rules that are in place. But one, for example, is Phipps Park, which is over off of Locks Road, which is off Canner Highway.
Right.
One of the highlights of that park is something they have new there, is they have adventure tent sites, 19 of them that you can rent. It's almost like glamping. It's a very high-end tent and campground setup that you would rent, and you get your own space. It's on the lake there, and you can camp overnight. Maybe bring your family. They have electricity, fire pit, cots inside these fancy tents, and it's just, I think it would be a wonderful experience. And it's only $29 a night.
Nice.
Now, is that at the end of Locks Road, or is that over off of Canner?
End of Locks Road. So you go to the very end of Locks Road, and as you know, there's 2 parks there, including the Locks. There's the Locks,
right,
which is kind of a park in and of itself, and to the right hand side before the Locks, on that road, there's Phipps Park, which is a Martin County park.
All right.
There's a nice boat ramp. There's a really nice boat ramp there. That's a hidden gem in Martin County. Not many people use it. It's all been redone. Phipps Park, it's called.
Yeah.
There's bathrooms, a laundromat there. You can wash your laundry. It's just a nice place. Very well kept.
How long have they had the tents?
Less than a year. They just got them.
Well, it sounds like a pretty intense experience.
Yeah.
That's that's good, Frank. Frank, I'm telling you, you're pumped.
But I'm thinking, kids are home from school. What a great experience it would be for maybe a dad and his son, or dad and his daughter, or whatever. I mean, I don't know the arrangements would be, but to bring your family out there at a small level, and maybe go out there for $29 a night, you can't beat it.
No, you can't. And so that's something you must have to book through the Parks Department.
You do. You go right on the website of Martin County and go to the parks, and you can actually call up and schedule in advance getting one of those campsites. And I'm going to I fish out there with my son all the time, and they have a small grouping of lakes that are actually overflow lakes for flooding purposes, but they're stocked with bass and all kinds of fish. I've caught a gar there, a giant gar, and we've caught all kinds of fish, my son and I. And this is where these tents are, and they're just nice. I mean, I've kind of walked over and looked at them, and they're fancy. It's a nice little setup there for $29 a night.
That sounds about as comfortable as the tents I like, which are usually at a Hampton Inn or a Fairfield. So that's my idea of camping. But that sounds pretty cool, especially if the facilities are very nice.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to tell you about is in the Stuart Beach, which is over there by, I believe that what's that museum that they've got over there?
The
Elliott Museum. By the Elliott Museum, you can on week at nights, you can rent a fire pit at night. I think it's till 10 o'clock, and They have a fire pit set up so you could have like a small fire pit party on the beach. I know you can rent those too. There is a price, of course, associated with it. I think it's around $20 or $30.
What they locate the fire pit out there for you?
Yeah, I think there are permanent pits out there, and they're set up and everything. So you rent it. So just another neat idea, something to do in Martin County. Martin County is full of great ideas. Sometimes you just have to kind of look and lift a few rocks up to find them, but there's some nice things to do here.
Well, I'll see your rock and raise you one. This was my wife of all people. You know, I don't know if you've ever gone, I'm sure you have, taken a little ride and ridden, gone underneath the Evans Prairie Bridge, which is one goes from Sewell Point over to the island.
Yes, sir.
And, they've got all they've got the roads like they do there, and they have the same thing over at the Jensen Beach. Not quite as elaborate, but pretty close. But what we do is we actually met two couples, friends of ours. We met under the bridge Sunday about noon. We bought chairs and our blanket, and we went on the east side, which is actually the south side, but it goes to the north side, and there's boat ramps there, but there's also pavilions. And, people go down there. And
is that where they jet ski sometimes? I've seen jet skiers around.
They're jet skiing over on that north side of the bridge. It's a little bit easier to get into the water, but we were down there and we were under the bridge, in the shade. It was almost chilly, the wind coming from the south. And we had little sandwiches, and we had just regular cold beverages, and we were there for about an hour and a half, just enough to, we distanced ourselves with our friends and meet. And so you can do that under a couple of those bridges, and it's worth just checking out if you've never just go down there.
Yeah.
And half the fun is watching the people and all.
Yeah, it's doing real life stuff, which I even would argue, even without the situation we've been dealt with lately, people don't do enough of the real stuff in life, and that's, I believe, what makes memories, stories, and the richness that we all like about life.
Yeah, it's the other thing it shows you is how much the county values. They really did a nice job on these areas to launch your boat, or just go fishing, or whatever you want to do. There's everybody doing a little bit of everything down there. So I was impressed. Yeah. So, by the way, this is the Martin County Business Exchange Wednesday night show. And this is one of the yackers, John Campion. I own European Kitchen and Bath over on Monterey. And my other co-host is Frank Mezzapel. You heard me call him Downtown because he is in charge of Downtown Stewart.
Well, Stewart Main Street, yes.
And I'd like to, John, if I could, let me give you a little bit of a plug for what you do over at European Bath. I will tell a short story. We are getting ready to redo some items in our bathroom. We're taking out a bathtub and putting in some fixtures and the shower, etc. And John, over at his facility over there on Monterey Road, has just a beautiful assortment of from shower heads to Toto toilets to what you would need to make your kitchen or your bath just primo. We're going to be working with John, picking out all the things that we want, and then we're going to be getting them installed at our wonderful house. And I just can't wait to do it. But if any of you looking out there to maybe find that nicer fixture or that toilet that actually flushes, see John. Yeah, John's toilets he sells. You put 20 golf balls in there and they'll flush. So.
But you just won't get them back.
It's a one-way trip. Yeah.
So make sure they're the ones with the cuts and
Yeah.
And then not to say that Todd and I practice this because we didn't, but I give him, as would Frank, the big plug for his Crown Car Care, which I mentioned at the top of the show. Todd is one of the most primo mechanics, and the mechanical brain that he has is I put him above anybody I've ever met, and I'm truthful with that. And you've taken care of me a couple of times with my stuff, and he works on the diesel stuff all the way down through
electric cars.
Electric cars, that's a great thing to know, I'm telling you. And
that's going to be a growing industry. Pardon me?
in a Ford Focus?
Yes, he's been keeping me busy. I've been keeping him busy with my Focus.
Yes, you have.
and it's sitting right now at his Cove Road store, because Todd has more than one location to serve you, Palm City and the lovely facility over at Cove Road. And my wife was really impressed with that.
Cove Road, we've been really, since this, I'll be honest with everybody, since this COVID situation occurred, I lost a couple of employees, not due to anything other than that things changed in the world, whether it's their parents or whatever, and they had to move away. I've hired a couple of new help, 2 people, in fact, and it's been a blessing. I don't know I know God's certainly watching over my shoulder on that one. I've got people that I've hired that are just spectacular. They bring to the table a set of talents and experiences that I can't even match. And I have them over at my Cove Road store. It's wonderful. I've been with them for 2 weeks now since we've been open, and I've just about got them fully trained. So I'm just delighted that I was able to get these people, and I'm just delighted to be open again over at Cove Road, because I was closed for a month and a half.
COVID Road.
Oh,
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do Frank after he said that.
Yeah.
It was the tent.
The intense experience. Yes.
Yeah, be very tense.
Yeah. But great. So the thing is, the benefit of knowing Todd, and when you get a chance to visit with him, he gets you thinking about stuff. We had done a show, maybe about a year ago, Todd, when we talked about cabin filters and the importance of air quality inside.
Yes, and boy, how are they important now? Big time.
So I noticed now that the weather's warming up, and when I drive, it's mostly a short hop, and so by the time the interior cabin is finally cooled off, I'm already at my destination, and the car gets turned off and it heats up again. And what's going on, Todd, you can elaborate more accurately than I can. But what's going on is yucky things are growing somewhere in where the heat air exchange is, right? And,
that's right.
And
that's
so
right.
the blower is blowing something in. So when I drive that car for about a day later, I'm really suffering. It's, I'm breathing, my wife hears me snoring at night, and it's like my breathing is labored.
Well, with cabin filters you can get, there are antimicrobial, they're a bit more money, but they are what they are. They're antimicrobial. And there's charcoal activated ones. It's very similar to air filtration systems in homes and businesses that they have. We use in other applications.
Right.
But it is so important.
Right.
Especially if you want to be breathing clean air.
Right.
And not breathing somebody else's air.
Right.
What a great idea it is to in fact, I've been selling the heck out of these cabin filters since we've reopened, because people not only go on my recommendation, but they've read it and realized that it is critical inside not only your car, but for the breathing of the people in the car.
Right. Right.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So these are cabin filters for your car.
Mm-hmm.
And where do they, how do they,
I believe, John, you drive a Suburban, right? I'm not mistaken.
Close enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Or GS or whatever it is. They've got a Yukon. They've got cabin filters in there. It's up behind the glove box, and it's a slot. You pull it out and replace it.
So it's in there. It comes with the car.
Yeah. Most of them come with the car. Sometimes they come with the dummy one where you'd have to pull out the dummy one and put one in there.
Don't be talking about me like that. Hey, move.
Pull this dummy out of this hat.
I think that's something that people never even think or talk about.
Right.
That's the point I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do when I speak at the MCEB when we re-meet. I believe I'm doing either the second or third week. I'm going to talk about that cabin filter because it's so vital and critical,
especially this time of year
now in the world.
Mm-hmm. Now that
I have examples to bring in too and show everybody. It's gross.
So how often is that something like that changed? I guess it depends where you are.
I would be on the curve of every 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's like what, a $20, $30? I mean,
it's the more you know, but the more you know me, the more, if you're a regular customer of mine and we're just, put it in, we're doing other things.
I get it.
You get it. You get what I'm saying.
I get it. You get it, Frank?
Well, yeah. So I dropped off my car and I talked to the Mike, right, at the desk, and I explained to him what I was after. I said, listen, I need to look after the oil change. I says, cabin filter. Oh yeah, perfect. He understood right away. I didn't have to explain.
And isn't Mike great? He's new over there. Mike,
super,
he's great.
super guy. And then I say, hey, look after my wipers for me because it's raining more now, and I think that it's probably a good time to, So, and I know that you guys do. You just don't do what is the customer asks. You look over.
We look at everything.
You look at everything.
No, I'm not gonna do something that you get mad at me at. But
right. But you look at everything.
Look at your vehicle. I'm gonna look at your vehicle and tell you what I see.
Right.
So Frank, when you pick that up and you're driving home in a Tesla, what are you gonna do then?
Listen, those things break too.
I know.
Yeah. And Todd will fix it.
Here's some interesting other reads here. GM has cut their workers' pay by 20%. Just some other interesting car stuff. Since this COVID, GM's cut workers' pay by 20%.
Okay.
What's some other interesting stuff? They are now implementing, Frank, and you know about this, they're implementing embedded RFID sensors and reflectors in the roads for auto driving cars. How about that?
Yeah.
We talked about that a year and a half ago.
We teased that, about a year and a half ago. Exactly. Yeah.
The other thing that we're doing now in the car world is they're going to be blockchaining the car's history, like Bitcoin, so it doesn't go away and it travels with the car, the life of the car. A blockchain.
Are you saying is this strictly electric cars or all cars?
No. What I'm talking about now is all cars. It's going to be at a federal level. It's almost like what a Carfax would be, but it's embedded with the car's VIN number. On whatever in the ether, I guess you'd call it, or the net, or whatever you want to call that. But it's blockchain, so it can't get dissolved.
So it's in the cloud. Yeah.
Blockchain just prevents anything from dissolving. Is really what I look at it as. It's a permanent thing.
Wow.
It's just somewhere in the car.
Well, no. It's
part of the car's ID.
It's unhackable. It's a sustainable data point that doesn't, like, if you brought your car to Crown to have the oil change and cabin filter, it would be then traveling with the car's history for its perpetuity.
Wow.
It can't go away. It can't be like corrupted, or like, let's say you're going to buy a used car and there's a shady lot that's selling a car. You won't be able to hide that stuff anymore because it's embedded with the VIN number.
Right.
Is what I'm getting at.
So when the VIN number is being transferred, and it would come up and tell you what's going on, like
okay, it's unhideable, this information. They're doing blockchain, so it's uncorruptible, and you can't dissolve the information. It's there forever.
And is it true, I mean, besides Ford doing the F-150s, is it Ford that's going to all electric cars?
Volvo has made the pledge to go to all electric. I don't think Ford's going there quite yet. They've got the E-Mach, or they got the E-Mustang out, and they've got a couple of other. They've got your car in a hybrid and an electric, and they got some other ones, but no, they're not going full electric quite yet.
No.
Okay.
But I think Toyota's
gas
looking
is too cheap now, boys.
Yeah.
Gas is too cheap now for it to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We filled up at BJ's. Filled up, put in a few gallons at BJ's over the weekend, and it was, I think, a buck and a half, $1.49.9.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I got it for I saw it as low as 150 up in Vero, and then I saw it also. I got mine at 155. 2 weeks ago, and then of course it went up here 14 cents overnight, but it is what it is. My son drives a hybrid Prius up in Orlando, and my wife searched high and low and got a another a hybrid like that with little gas, a lot of electric, Lexus, a little guy, some C.
Very nice vehicle.
Yeah, so she's loving that. Of course, 49, 50 miles to a gallon.
That has a cabin filter, by the way. That one does. Your wife's vehicle. The reason I know that is the owner of Group One, Kevin. I just worked on his. One of his children had a car similar to that one, and it had a cabin filter. Yep.
Well, to keep plugging Todd here, give him a bigger head than he has. No, he's very very.
Todd is probably the most grounded person next to you, John, that I've ever known.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
What happened to you, Frank? No, Frank. Thank you for allowing. Thank you for allowing me the pleasure of your time. No, and I think here we with Todd being our guest on here, he's been on the show. He's been on this radio station a lot. He had the radio show going on Tuesday morning.
Mondays we had it
Mondays
for well over a year and a half.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like click and clack all in one, except he's gonna be around for a long time, and he really knows his stuff. He's you're very humble about your education in the automotive business and the things you've done, and how some of these companies have called you to come figure things out. I mean, amazing stuff. So if you're listening to us today, Crown Car Care for your car needs, I'm just telling you will be blown away by the service he provides.
Well, every time I go to the bathroom, I'm blown away by the toilets that he sells on.
If your family will let you in there.
Yeah,
Well, that's why
we'll soon have two, won't we?
Whoa.
I hope so.
Oh yeah.
They haven't quit making them. They're like golf balls. They haven't quit making them.
No. Yeah, that'll suck a golf ball at 50 yards. That thing.
All right. So we're just about 3 minutes away from taking our scheduled break. But while we're on break, I want to ask you two guys, I have a feature I want to roll out called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
I love Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. And so I would love for you guys to put on your thinking caps and think of, it could be just Martin County centric. It could be national, it could be global, but think of things that are good, things that are bad, and things that are ugly.
Now, Frank, could you get the music? Because I have it as one of my ringtones, that famous Clint Eastwood.
I've got it all queued up. So
just checking.
Oh yeah. No, you know me, I'm always looking for an excuse to run some sort of audio file. So
okay, so we'll reconnect on the backside here.
Righto.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
All right.
I've got my outline going.
All right.
So before we go to break, so remind our listeners that this is the Martin County Business Exchange Meet McBiz weekly show, and the Martin County Business Exchange meets as a breakfast meeting normally on Wednesday mornings, and everybody gets they get there early. They get their coffee. We have a wonderful breakfast that John has arranged through the Berry Fresh people, and
there's lottery tickets too. We sell a giveaway,
and we always when Todd is there, we always have a big lottery pot, and then we get a wonderful program by one of the members gets to give us a little 20-minute program about either themselves or their business, or just things of interest that they want to chat about for about 20 minutes, and we still get an opportunity to visit with each other, and we can still get to our office well before 9 o'clock in the morning. So I think that's a great way to start the day on a Wednesday. Cool. Yeah,
the oldest networking group in Martin County,
right?
Over 30 years,
and the best.
It's great.
Absolutely. All right.
Less filling too.
So
and you got to get there early to get the bacon, right, Frank?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To get the bacon, you got to get first in line.
Yeah. Get in front of Frank and Mark Breckbill.
Yeah. Bacon.
You need big elbows. All right.
Well, that's good apple. That's good applewood bacon. That's the best bacon I've ever had.
Oh yeah. They do a good job. All right. Let's step aside for Rocky and Bullwinkle. We'll be right back.
And now, hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
guys both there?
I'm here.
Todd?
Hi, John. Yes, sir. Frank, you there?
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Oh, of course.
50 seconds. Yeah, good. Well, just things that are good, bad, and ugly. So you could just think about things that you want to talk about. Think good things that are happening, maybe bad things. All right.
Are we Frank?
Stand by. Well, we got a commercial going on here, and oh man, it'll start shortly. Here we go. All right.
I love it.
All right. You are listening to Meet McBiz, and today's feature is the good, the bad, and the ugly. What do you got for us, Todd? What is good?
I'm going to give you some good. We're going to have the best summer we've ever had.
All
And
right.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. Obviously, this situation that we've had is passing and things are reopening, number one.
Mhm.
Number two, we've got some of that. We do have the cheapest gas prices in history. 3, we've got pent-up demand for vacations and things to do with the family. 4, business owners. We're going to be having some of the best talent available for hire due to, well, some of the bad of many businesses closing. We're now going to have a talent pool readily available for any of our businesses that we own that we need to hire people for. And number 5, I heard the weather's going to be good. So there's the 5 good reasons why the summer is going to be the best.
Hey, I like it.
Wow,
Well done.
man.
Talk about doing quality on the fly. That is excellent.
Well, he meant to say the summer's going to be good and hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm not as Todd is. He's a confident dude, and I agree with everything he said. I will say something that's good is that Governor DeSantis did good.
Yes.
He's a good man. He's been fair to our.
He did not get caught up in all the hype.
All the minutia, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't get caught up in the stuff that leaves people without jobs and at home with nothing. No, he did it right. He did do it right.
Well, I'll tell you what's bad.
Well, I know what's bad
What's
too.
bad?
Two things that are bad. One are the people who do not conform to what they have requested we do to be safe. And you know, it's, I guess, having my stuff kind of being around the COVID situation, because it does, you know, we're all getting ants in our pants to get out and do our dance. So we will get there. We will do it. And, you know, what's good about that is we are an most incredible country in the world, and we are all blessed that we are here. Okay.
Yep.
The other thing that's bad is it's bad that the restaurants have to be going what they're going through. And we really have found out how dependent we are on having our restaurants and bars available for us. So, but I'm still not ready to go to a restaurant and sit down.
Yeah.
Plus the way my wife cooks, I
Right.
can get past the leftovers, but I'd rather have leftovers of pizza than marinated chickpea. Sorry, honey. That was good health.
So do you have any ugly, John? Any really ugly?
You know what's ugly for me?
What's ugly?
Trump tweeting.
It's the tweets.
If he would just quit tweeting.
Yeah.
And
The tweets could be pretty ugly. Yeah, I'll grant you
he
that.
has done some pretty things, but he thinks he's the king, and that's what's kind of ugly too. But if he would just quit tweeting,
and if NP would quit showing her face in public,
that's right. That's I agree on that. The old NP. What about you, Frank?
You know what? I can't top what you guys just covered. I think you guys
can.
Oh man, no, listen, I'm just here working the board. You guys, you covered it already.
You, Frank,
I've got some statistics for the autumn. Interesting. I've got some
let's do that.
Statistics for the before and, with the COVID, what's happened in the automotive industry at a national level. I got interesting numbers.
Okay. And they're good, bad, and ugly, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it gives you a baseline here. And I'll tell you, it's based off two numbers. It's going to be the average work order, ARO, which is the amount of money on average a person would spend across the board in the automotive industry. And number two, how many visits per day an average shop would get for how many customers. Okay. So
you mean like a repair shop?
A repair shop. Yeah. It's including oil change places and dealerships too, but they're using statistics and they're kind of bringing it all together to get you one clean number. That's a good picture or snapshot across the nation with repair shops in general. Okay. So you've got, in March, the beginning of March, and they used Wednesday as the day that they did the numbers.
Okay. 10
visits per shop, and the average repair order was $414.
Okay.
10. Okay. The first week of social distancing, the number of visits dropped to 9, but the average repair order increased to 444, so it was up $30. So visits dropped, which is kind of what we would expect, right?
Right, of course.
Right.
And if your car's broken, it's broken. I mean, I can't.
Right.
You can't
foresee that. Right.
I can't take into variables whether you have a job or whether you that and if it's broke, it's broke. There's some things we can do and modify, but for the most part, your car's broke, it's broke. If it needs an oil change, it needs an oil change.
Right.
Can't change that. Okay. So 2 weeks in after the social distancing, the average repair order didn't really drop, but the number of visits per Wednesday dropped to 7. So what we're seeing then is the trend is you're seeing distance, the total cars dropping is what basically is what I'm getting at. But the average amount of the repair order is staying the same. Interesting statistics. I find that interesting. And so in essence, it dropped 30%. So business dropped 30%, but the amount that the people spend of the 70% that went there stayed the same. So that's my industry.
Okay.
So what's going on? I experienced personally at my Cove Road store a total decimation of business. That's why I closed it. There was just zero.
I think it's important too, because I heard in some point, and excuse me for interrupting, but the thing.
Oh, I'm done. Talk. I'm done.
Well, no, you keep talking because I like listening to what you're saying. I want to make sure that our listeners know that the Cove Road store, because you said, I'm trying to remember exactly what was said earlier about, the store over in the Cove Road store you've had for how long?
11 years.
Yeah. So it's been there 11 years, and if you zip by it, it's on your way, down towards the circle at A1A, but he's there. And then you've had the Palm City store for how long?
14.
See?
14.
So it was something that said earlier, made me sound like, the Cove Road store just opened. Well, you've been just open because you closed down.
Yeah, I opened because I was closed. But I will tell you the demographics of my customer base is different, though. In Palm City, I have quite a bit of commercial work, which is the many essential vehicles I work on. I work on Florida Power and Lights vehicles. In fact, I have 2 of them there right now. I've been working on bunches of Florida Power and Lights. I've got many AC companies, many electrical companies. So they're critical to our economy, whether it's really shut down or not. So I didn't see much of a slowdown there. In fact, I saw an uptick in business in Palm City. Cove Road is more based on retirees. A lot of Miles Grant clientele. A lot of the general condominium communities around that area. There's quite a few of them. So when you had the social distancing and the stay-at-home orders, your retired folk really stayed at home, and that was what really affected it.
Yeah.
Your Miles Grant business is going to go up, Todd.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Oh.
I saw it today, and I hope they don't get mad at me for saying this, but they just had to close down the clubhouse because someone in there tested positive, and they're going to be closed for a week, and they're getting everybody tested, and everything's clear. They'll open back up in a week.
Because that's where our meeting is for what.
Yeah, well, and we don't have them there right now. It's just the fact that they recognize that, and that was their policy if that happened, and they did it quickly, and they didn't hesitate, and they didn't chop liver. But
the best leadership is without hesitation, always doing the right thing, even when nobody's looking.
Right.
You're good at remembering all that stuff. All I know is I come in here and I try to be nice to everybody, and and I wear the mask. I mean, I feel a little guilty walking into a bank with my mask on, but you know what? I don't have a gun in my hand.
It's not. It's the gun that's in your waistband.
Cottage industry has started with these masks.
Oh man, I'll say. Yeah.
I mean, this is like they're going to be selling those next to the power cords at the checkout counters everywhere.
Yeah.
My wife has made masks. She's been making masks. Every night she's working on 3 or 4. So
sweet.
I had one of my employees brought in her flamingo pajama bottoms, and we cut them off and turned them into jammy shorts, and the legs were converted into flamingo masks.
Now, they cleaned the pajamas before you got them, right?
Well, they were in the legs, Frank. It was just some bristly hair, I think.
Okay, I'm just asking.
No, yes, they were.
All right, Todd, as we go out to our last break, do you know what...
a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.
Do you remember what is the make and model of this car?
The Firebird.
Yeah, there you go.
Trans Am. 86 one.
I believe so, yeah. I saw it in Leno's garage the other day. They put an episode up on YouTube. It's pretty cool. All right, we'll be right back, so stick with us.
Is he related to the original family that owned it or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Big John.
Every morning at the mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John.
All right. And it's still true with our Big John, too. Big guy. Big John.
Yeah.
John, why don't you tell everybody about that great restaurant that you were telling me about over there in Palm City?
I just wanted to give a little
shout out. Yeah.
Shout out to Monero's in Palm City.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, I didn't get to tell you this, Todd, but when I was about 6 years old, we lived in Westchester County, New York.
Yep.
and we used to go to Monero's, and it's the same family, you know. So here I am,
Really
63 years old, and that many years later. Yeah, you know,
and they hosted our Kiwanis Club for many years.
Jay is a great guy.
Yeah,
Jay Mahoney.
I mean, a great.
Tell me about the experience that you had
man.
on the pickup. They have a system down for ordering food at Monero's now.
They do. You know, I just live up a mile up the street in Hammock Creek, and but what was great is I called them the other night. I said 7:30 because they close at 8, and I picked up what we were getting to go, and they have the staff out there, 1 or 2 people. I pulled up. You pull up. You put your window down. I told them my name. She goes, "It's right here." Put it in my car. I got home. The steak fries were still hot.
Nice.
Wow.
And
I was going to ask what did you have?
Well, I had the French dip sandwich, of course.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Prime rib dip. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Melt in your mouth. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, talking about it.
I'm going to get one of those now. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, you know, and of course, their signature food is the gorgonzola salad.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That with, you know, your different.
I did not know that. I did not know that. The gorgonzola salad.
The gorgonzola salad, Todd, you can't give you enough bread to mop the dressing out of that bowl and stuff. It's like crack.
John, I just love your descriptive language.
Yes.
It's called onomatopoeia when the word sounds like what it's doing. His choice of words is just fabulous.
Yeah. And the other thing, we don't know where he gets them, but if we can ever find out the secret of where Jay buys his tomatoes that go in that salad, they are the best tasting tomatoes all year long.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm wanting to go over there, drive through and pick up a drive-through and a pickup.
It's
food.
Telling you, it's just go online and order. You can order online or just call them. So they have really got it down. And you know, a lot of people learned. Some got it, some didn't, but they got it.
That's great.
And I hope, Jay, I know you're not listening, but
you never know.
Thank you.
He could be in the kitchen.
You never know.
Yeah. Just about everybody has WSTU turned on in their kitchen.
I think so.
Yeah.
Our viewership's
in their
up to
office.
about 15,000.
Frank, can you give us an update on anything going on in downtown Stuart, maybe with the Flagler Center and what's going on with the stores in the downtown area?
We just are in the process of cleaning things up there, getting ready for events whenever we're allowed to start. And we've just completed a beautiful repaint of the inside of the formal dining room, and it's just gorgeous. And so we're really excited about that, and we're looking forward to doing some other projects. But we've just I've helped Jim Krolski from the city of Stuart on a nice project that he's been doing, and it's called I call it We're Back, but he's called it We're Ready. And the We're Ready campaign, you'll see that rolled out on TV and maybe some radio, but mostly it's going to be on in media like Facebook and that like that. And it's going to be a little 2-minute vignettes with a lot of the downtown merchants and surrounding people in the city of Stuart, talking about their experience and the fact that they're ready for business. And it's a really excellent product that the city's put together, and Main Street is getting what they refer to as the B-roll, and that is like all the ancillary stuff, and we're hoping to utilize that in our own portion or our own version of the We're Ready campaign. So we're going to be rolling that out as well, and that'll be out through the summer. And just to remind people that we're alive and well, and we're in business, and we're looking forward to serving the public safely. And
I'd like to see you, Frank, do something like we've discussed many ideas and events. I'd like to see you put something together, maybe small, and something over at the Flagler Center where
as soon as we're allowed to. Yes, as soon as we're allowed to, we will.
Count me in on helping you, and let's do something fun.
Yes.
Something to bring attention to Martin County, bring attention to downtown, bring attention to everybody. And
we had a meeting today. We had a meeting today at the Flagler talking about just those kind of things. So we're trying to get geared up to bring in some really nice things. So, and you're
really on the ball, Frank.
Well, it's an ongoing process, but we're having a good time, getting things ready.
We call him
and
Frank, downtown Mezapel.
Downtown Frank. That's why they call him Downtown Frankie. Not only does he live down there, most of his, you're always downtown Frank. It's better to be Downtown Frank than Dr. Detroit. I can tell you that.
Yeah, right. Well, that's right.
The Demolition
Frank
Derby.
left that one behind.
Yeah, we've got. Hey, listen. So Todd, we should talk a little bit about NASCAR, right? NASCAR is doing something unique in the sport world, and they're getting a lot of views on TV.
Yes. That's the virtual racing, right?
Yeah, they're doing that, and I guess there's another what race tonight or tomorrow? I think
there was going to be 4 races at the Homestead.
Yes,
down in Miami.
They're doing these really quick races, and I guess they're getting a huge TV audience. So
yeah, no fans.
Oh, that's interesting. I like the idea of quick because I think a lot of times it's like watching a golf game. Sometimes it's just too darn long.
a lot of folks going really fast, making a left turn. Yes.
Yeah.
Really. They keep wearing
I've been down the Homestead. It's loud.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's so loud, it's deafening, but fun.
So would they ever allow? I wonder if the future cars would be electric if they would be on the NASCAR track.
Well, here, I'm funny you asked me about that because I can give you some interesting news that I've read about it. Pretty valid sources. Okay. Your Formula One racing, F1. Okay.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to pass. They're getting ready to allow 2-stroke motors because they're becoming disenfranchised. There's the sound with the electric and the hybrids. Nobody likes it. And this is true. I read it in Popular Mechanics magazine.
All right.
Real deal. And they're going to allow, a 2-stroke is like an old dirt bike or a snowmobile.
Sure. Yeah.
They want the sound to come back. And I find that interesting because that's counterintuitive to what you were just saying.
Right.
Quieter.
Yeah.
Formula One racing. They want sound.
Yeah. The roar of the crowd, the roar of the engines, right? It's like.
Well, they'll get roars with 2-strokes, let me tell you.
So.
Have you been to a lot of NASCAR races?
Yeah, I've been. I was about a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago. I was at a Homestead NASCAR.
New house is
race.
amazing.
Primo seats, but it was primo loud. I had to get here.
Charles is now open.
That was the end of the year
Excited to
race,
welcome-
right?
Yeah.
I was down there.
Oh wow. Well, we probably passed by each other.
Yeah. Well, one of my suppliers has a big party. They have a big cookout and drinks for 700 people.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in one of those fancy dancy places where they have they cater your food and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not that. I'm like, okay, I'll be in the car. Bring me another beer.
Well, I got these tickets free. I didn't pay for them.
I'm sure. No, that's pretty cool. That's cool stuff. That's is. If you've never been to a NASCAR race,
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Start your engines.
I received mine from a vendor of mine.
Yeah.
Cold Air Distributors, I believe it was.
Good deal.
There you go. This is the best of NASCAR.
Gentlemen, start your
All right.
Didn't Donald Trump start a NASCAR race? Or
He just did recently. It didn't make the YouTube reel, unfortunately, but yes, he did. Yes, he just did that last year, I think, right, or earlier this year.
I think it was earlier this year.
I think it was January. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah.
I believe it was a whole big shindig. He flew it and did a flyby with Air Force One, didn't he?
Right.
A low flyby.
Wasn't it in Homestead or somewhere?
Probably.
Yeah.
He probably tweeted.
Yeah.
Speaking of flybys, I can't wait to see this new Top Gun movie that's out or coming out at the theater. I want to see that bad.
Oh, the one where he's going to fly up to the
Tom
international.
Cruise is in it again.
Well, he's
supposed to be good.
He's booked a seat on the new SpaceX launch going up next year, and him and I guess a film crew are going to take pictures of or film a movie actually at the International Space Station.
Well, they can finally prove that the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah, there you go.
Just talk to Columbus.
Cristoforo Colombo. Yes.
Yeah, Colombo.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Frank, how much more time we got?
We've
Just,
got just another minute, I think, before we got to fire up the.
Why don't we let Todd tell people how to get a hold of
Yes,
his
thank you.
organization and stuff?
I will. It's very easy to get a hold of us at Crown Car Care, and there's only one phone number you need to remember and only one website. The phone number is, of course, area code 772, which is Martin County, 781-8000. That's 781-8000, and our website is our name, crowncarcare.net.
All right.
You can book an appointment online. You can call us. You can read our reviews. They're updated live on our website. You can read what people are saying about us. We have a Facebook page also that's updated at least once every couple days. There's articles on there. I've done a couple videos on there. Check us out. We're the real deal. If you're looking for a relationship to have with an automobile shop that you've never had before, and you want to try out that new relationship, try it with us.
Well, and people are always very, always looking for a good mechanic. So they got one.
They are.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a good cabin air filter, I got them.
Well, and I'm looking forward to breathing clean air in the
Yes, sir.
in the my car, my Ford tomorrow afternoon. Tell Mike I'll be there tomorrow around lunch hour, and I look forward to driving home. The Ford Focus will feel like a brand new car. I love it.
Thanks, Todd.
Hey,
Thanks, Frank.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And thank you for listening to Meet McBiz right here on WSTU, your heritage station.